Santiago's Dream. In the sunlit hills of Andalusia, a young shepherd named Santiago tended to his flock. He wasn't just a shepherd, though. He was a dreamer. Unlike many who were content with the simple routines of life, Santiago longed for adventure, for something more. He loved to read, explore, and dream of the world beyond the rolling hills of Spain. One night, Santiago had a peculiar dream while sleeping under a sycamore tree that grew in the ruins of an old church. In this dream, a child played with his sheep and then led him to the Egyptian pyramids, whispering that a great treasure awaited him there. The dream was so vivid, so real, that Santiago couldn't let it go. The next day, he decided to consult a gypsy fortune teller to make sense of it. The gypsy woman, though old and mysterious, confirmed his dream. The treasure was real, and Santiago was destined to find it. Meeting the King of Salem. Santiago left the gypsy's hut, unsure of what to believe. Was he being foolish to think of leaving his life as a shepherd behind for a dream? As he sat in contemplation, a strange yet regal old man approached him. The man introduced himself as Melchizedek, the King of Salem, and told Santiago about the concept of a personal legend, the one thing each person is meant to achieve in life. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it, the old man said. Melchizedek gave Santiago two magical stones, Urim and Thummim, which could help him interpret omens, and encouraged him to sell his flock and set out on his journey. With a mix of excitement and fear, Santiago made his decision. He sold his sheep and used the money to travel to Africa. The first obstacle, Tangier and the thief. Santiago arrived in Tangier, a bustling port city in northern Africa. But his excitement soon turned to despair when a seemingly kind man tricked him and stole all his money. Alone in a foreign land, penniless and heartbroken, Santiago considered abandoning his quest. Yet he reminded himself of Melchizedek's words and decided to persevere. He found work at a crystal merchant's shop, where he cleaned dusty crystal glasses in exchange for food. The crystal merchant was a kind but cautious man, content with his modest life. Santiago, however, saw opportunities for growth. He introduced new ideas, like selling tea in crystal glasses to attract more customers. Over the next year, the shop thrived, and Santiago saved enough money to continue his journey. Though he hadn't reached the pyramids yet, he realized he had learned valuable lessons about resilience and the importance of taking risks. Across the desert, meeting the Englishman. With his earnings, Santiago joined a caravan heading across the vast Sahara Desert toward Egypt. It was a perilous journey, filled with sandstorms, scorching heat, and the threat of tribal wars. Along the way, Santiago met a peculiar Englishman who was obsessed with alchemy, the ancient science of turning lead into gold. The Englishman was searching for the Alchemist, a legendary figure said to possess the secrets of the Philosopher's Stone and the elixir of life. While the Englishman buried his nose in books, Santiago spent his time observing the desert. He began to notice the subtle signs and omens that Melchizedek had spoken of. The desert, he realized, was alive and full of wisdom for those who knew how to listen. The Oasis, Love and the Alchemist. The caravan eventually arrived at a beautiful oasis, a green paradise amidst the barren desert. There, Santiago met Fatima, a young woman who lived at the oasis. It was love at first sight. They spoke briefly, but in those moments, Santiago felt a profound connection. Fatima, wise beyond her years, understood that Santiago's journey was important. She encouraged him to continue his quest, promising to wait for him at the oasis. At the oasis, Santiago also encountered the alchemist himself, a mysterious and powerful man dressed in black. The alchemist recognized Santiago's potential and told him he was closer to fulfilling his personal legend than he realized. He offered to guide Santiago through the final leg of his journey to the pyramids. The journey with the alchemist. As they traveled together, the alchemist taught Santiago profound lessons about life, fear, and the soul of the world. He explained that fear is the greatest obstacle to achieving one's dreams, and that understanding the interconnectedness of all things is the key to transformation. Santiago learned to listen to his heart, which often spoke in a language beyond words. Their journey was fraught with danger, especially as tribal wars raged across the desert. At one point, they were captured by warriors who accused them of being spies. To save their lives, the alchemist told the warriors that Santiago could transform into the wind. Though terrified, Santiago trusted in the wisdom he had gained. He meditated on the unity of the desert, the wind, and the sun, and in a miraculous moment, he summoned a powerful sandstorm that left the warriors in awe. Santiago had tapped into the soul of the world and realized the true extent of his capabilities. The pyramids, a harsh lesson. Finally, after a long and arduous journey, Santiago reached the Egyptian pyramids. Standing before the ancient monuments, he felt a surge of triumph and began to dig in the sand, convinced the treasure lay beneath. But as he dug, a group of bandits appeared, beating him and stealing what little he had left. In their mocking laughter, one of the thieves revealed something unexpected. He too had once dreamed of treasure. In his dream, the treasure was buried under a sycamore tree in the ruins of an old church in Spain. Suddenly, Santiago understood. The treasure he sought had been at home all along, right where his journey began. But instead of feeling defeated, Santiago felt a deep sense of gratitude. The journey itself had been his true treasure, teaching him about courage, love, and the wisdom of the world. The return home. Santiago returned to Andalusia, back to the old church where he had first dreamed of the treasure. He dug beneath the sycamore tree and found a chest filled with gold, jewels, and unimaginable riches. Yet the wealth paled in comparison to the transformation he had undergone. He had discovered his personal legend, found love, and learned to listen to his heart and the world around him. As the story ends, Santiago dreams of reuniting with Fatima, knowing that his journey has only just begun. Key themes and messages. 1. Pursuing your dreams. Santiago's quest symbolizes the importance of following your heart and striving for your personal legend. 2. The journey over the destination. The treasure was at home all along, but the lessons, experiences, and growth Santiago gained on his journey were invaluable. 3. Listening to the world. Through omens, dreams, and the soul of the world, the story emphasizes the importance of being attuned to the signs around us. 4. Overcoming fear. Fear is the greatest barrier to achieving our dreams, but Santiago's journey shows that courage and trust can overcome it. 5. Love as support, not restriction. Fatima's love for Santiago is selfless, encouraging him to fulfill his destiny rather than holding him back. Final thoughts. The Alchemist is a tale of adventure, self-discovery, and the pursuit of one's dreams. It reminds us that life is a journey, and the treasures we seek are often found not in the destination, but in the lessons we learn and the love we discover along the way. It's a story that speaks to the dreamer in all of us,